Hey guys, and welcome to another Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and we've seen many updates come to Animal Crossing New Horizons so far. With most of these updates, we've gotten data mines which have helped give us a good idea of what changes and new features and content we could see happen in the future. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the previous data mines to investigate what content we could potentially see come to the game in 2021. We're also going to be looking at some more obvious things that most likely will get updated for 2021 in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So if you're excited for this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. Number 1. First of all, we have to take a look at vegetables. Now, you guys will know that in October last year for the Halloween event, we got pumpkins added to the game, a new type of kind of mechanic in a way where you could actually do a little bit of farming and grow your own pumpkins. Now, this was really cool, and I think a lot of us at the time kind of expected that they would add more than just pumpkins to the game. Well, it was actually data mined by Ninja, one of the most kind of prominent data miners for Animal Crossing, that there were other types of vegetables within the files of the game. It seemed like there were tomatoes, wheat, sugarcane, potatoes, and carrots too that you might be able to get in the game at some point. Now, I don't think Nintendo would bother to add all of these new vegetables if they weren't planning on adding them at any point to the game. I definitely think at some point in the future we're going to see these vegetables added, so we'll be able to do even more farming, which is definitely something that is very at home in Animal Crossing. It makes a lot of sense to have this mechanic. I guess they want to spread out the content as much as they can so they don't add it right away, but I think when it comes to brand new things like this, we can assume it's not leftover text or code from a previous game, because vegetables and such were never a thing in past Animal Crossing games. So I think it's fairly safe to say that eventually we will see these new vegetables get added in some kind of update for the game. Now, I actually think a perfect time to add these vegetables would either be for Halloween 2021, where they could do even more vegetables for you to collect, or maybe even for Turkey Day, where you need to collect more different vegetables. I think actually a lot of us were expecting that in the winter update for 2020, they would add these vegetables so they could be ingredients for Franklin's dishes during Turkey Day, but that never happened. That's kind of why I wanted to bring attention to this thing again, because I feel like a lot of people have forgotten that we did actually have a lot of extra vegetables that are supposed to be coming out, but it seems like Nintendo's either forgotten about them, or they're just planning on bringing them out in the future. I definitely think these events for 2020 are a good contender for these new vegetables to be added, however. Maybe they could add some for the, Halloween event, they could add a few for then, and then they could add the rest for Turkey Day. Because stuff like wheat would make such sense for this kind of event. We did actually have to gather pumpkins for Turkey Day, so I think it'd be even better if we had more variety in the vegetables. But what do you guys think? Do you think these vegetables could return for these events, or maybe will they be added in some kind of separate update? I would have thought they would have been added in spring if so fall seems like the best time to add them. Number 2. So, bushes were one of the great things that got brought back from Animal Crossing New Leaf in Animal Crossing New Horizons during the April update. That means we've had over a year's worth of bushes in Animal Crossing New Horizons now, and we've basically been able to see the bushes in every sort of condition, every type of bloom that they could have, and all the different flowers. Well, it was actually data mined last year that there was another type of bush that we haven't seen added to the game yet, which could be very exciting. This was the Plumeria bush, a type of flower which was actually introduced in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp as a part of one of their events. Instead of being a standalone flower, however, it would be a flower on a bush, so a new type of bush that you could buy from Leaf. Now, apparently only the red Plumeria was data mined, but I think if they were going to do this, they'd probably do the white one as well. They usually have 2 types of each bush, aside from maybe I think the holly bush, so it definitely would make sense for them to add more types of Plumeria bush. Maybe the only reason why the red was data mined is because they don't plan on bringing this item out yet, so they thought there's no point doing other ones until later. I actually think that this type of bush could be introduced this summer in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And the reason why I think that is because these Plumeria flowers, I believe, actually do bloom in summer, and that's when they were first introduced in Pocket Camp. They were introduced in a summer gardening event. It seems like they would be perfect for some kind of summer celebration in the game. Maybe Leaf could just start selling them randomly, or they could be a part of an event. I don't know, but I really think it would be great to see another type of bush. The more we can decorate our islands, especially with kind of greenery and types of items like that, would be great. I personally would love to see more actual flowers added to the game, but if we're just going to get new bushes, I definitely think this is a great contender and they would look really pretty. I guess Nintendo may have also worried that these flowers might look too similar to some of the other types of bushes we have in the game, but I don't think any players would complain about getting more bushes, you know, it'd just be a great thing to have. So hopefully they will consider adding the Plumeria bush at some point, and it could be this summer. We did get some pretty big updates last summer in Animal Crossing New Horizons, so it's definitely a contender. Number 3. Now, we always talk about the Roost and Brewster on this channel and in these videos, so I'm not going to do that here, but I want to talk about something that's actually connected to them, which is also very beloved in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which are the Gyroids, which, according to datamined, are explicitly connected to the cafe, which was also datamined. Now, I think it would be fantastic to see Gyroids return and for us to have a really cool new collectible. If you didn't play the previous Animal Crossing games, you might not see the appeal, but just imagine being able to collect all these different Gyroid statues by digging them up across your island after it rains. It would give you something new to do, they're good to sell, you can display them in your home, they do different things and make different noises and ambience kind of, so they're all really cool and very iconic to the series, so I definitely think we will see them return. Now, there are a lot of rumors with the last Animal Crossing datamined for the 1.10 update that the Roost and, you know, the cafe will be returning to the museum in Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I think if that does happen this 2021, which potentially could even happen this summer, potentially, obviously not getting my hopes too high here, but if it does, I think the Gyroids will come at the same time, so that's why I wanted to highlight them in this video, because I feel like they get forgotten about recently, and you know, if we do actually see the cafe return, I think at the exact same time that happens, Gyroids would come, because they do seem to be linked together, so that would honestly be really amazing if that were the case and we got both at once. I would love that. Number 4. Now, this one I think seems fairly obvious. I think we can pretty much say without a doubt that this is going to happen regardless of data mines. I think it's safe to say that the remaining events for 2021 will get significant updates or smaller updates this year. Now, we've seen this happen with the events already. In fact, the 1.10 update, which came out in late April, basically was dedicated just to updating events from last year. The reason why they're doing this is basically to keep players who played the game last year entertained in the game and give new players some extra content to enjoy as well. I think maybe the one that has the least chance of being updated is the Fireworks Festival, but maybe Red could actually sell some of the old Nintendo-themed toys that he sold in Animal Crossing New Leaf. That would honestly be really great and something new for players to collect. Even if you played it last year, it would give you a reason to check it out, so his little raffle was actually really cool. This time around, he mostly just sold stuff like balloons and sparklers and such, so it'd be nice to see him sell actual items again. Halloween, I think, is a given to get updates in the game. There's so many creepy items they could bring back or add to the game for Halloween, and maybe even those vegetables like I mentioned. Turkey Day, I think we'll probably see new recipes to create with new ingredients to collect, which would be really great. Again, maybe we will see those vegetables added as a part of that event. It would make a lot of sense. Toy Day is another one that I think we will see get an update, and I think potentially the feature where throughout the month of December you get clues about what gifts to give your villagers is something that could actually return. I was really surprised that that little feature wasn't a part of this event, because it gave you a reason to talk to your villagers every day in December, because they'd give you hints about the right kind of presents. I think the reason why they took that out is because they wanted to make it easier for players and not as stressful, so they wouldn't have to play all month. But, you know, if Nintendo wants us to play the game and really enjoy ourselves, I think having little things like that is a must. So yes, I definitely think all of these events that we saw last year will be getting a makeover and some updates, which is a good thing, honestly, provided that that's not just what we get, because so far the updates in 2021 haven't been the best. They've not been... I wouldn't call them bad, I honestly wouldn't, but let's be honest, they haven't exactly lived up to our expectations, so I definitely hope that we can see more than just events getting updated, but I do think it's a good contender. Number 5. Now, this is probably the most interesting one on the list. I think a lot of us thought this was going to happen last year, like with many things. It got data mined once again by Ninja, and a lot of us got really excited about the prospect of this because they had some references in the game's code to sewing and cooking DIYs. Now, of course, people speculated endlessly about this, myself included. Could we see cooking, like a cooking feature, come to Animal Crossing New Horizons? It certainly would have made sense along with the vegetables that they added and even the pumpkins. But this never happened. We never really saw cooking or sewing DIYs, and I do think this would be a good contender for a new feature to come out in 2021. It's not something that's returning from older games, it'd be a new type of thing, and it would tie in really well to some of the aspects we already have in the game, so Nintendo wouldn't have to go out of their way to really do too much to implement this. You know, I guess if you were cooking something, it would be just like creating a normal DIY recipe where you collect the ingredients and then head to your crafting bench, or maybe you'd have a different type of item like a stovetop or something, or you could use the cooking appliances that you've got in your house. And sewing, maybe that'd be something you could do from a new machine at Able Sisters. I guess you could even do it at Sable's machine in the Able Sisters, so I don't think it'd actually be too difficult for them to implement. Yet it would give players new DIYs to collect, which is something we sorely need at the moment, and, you know, more activities to do each day in general. There's a lot they could do with cooking dishes and clothes that you can craft. And clothes crafting definitely does seem like something that will make it into the game at some point. I believe there were quite a few references to that in the game's code. So hopefully this is something that we can see happening, and we'll see some improvements to crafting in general at some point. They did have some quality of life changes with custom designs happen already in the March update, so why not some more for clothes and, you know, even other types of DIYs that we can unlock in the game. That would be really great. So guys, definitely let me know which of these features which were data mined or speculated about do you think we'll see happen in 2021? Is Nintendo going to bring some of these things that we want out, or are they going to keep them from us? Were they maybe never intended to come out? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang so that I know you did. If you want to help support my channel, click the join button down below the video to become a channel member. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, and more, so definitely check that link out to become a channel member. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on those channel notifications for more Animal Crossing content. You can check out my links and my merch in the description, and 2 more videos on the right side of the screen. Thank you for watching, and catch you in the next Animal Crossing video.